It is finally here, game day, and I'm going to give you 4 of my predictions that I believe will happen as the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Arizona Cardinals. But before we get into any of that, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, as I'm going to keep you up to date on anything Kansas City Chief related that you do not want to miss out on. And without further ado, let's have a little bit of fun. It feels like it is Christmas Eve, Christmas morning, whatever you want to call it. Football season is back, our Kansas City Chiefs are back, and a lot of you are going to struggle to sleep tonight over the excitement of the Kansas City Chiefs taking the field. So I'm going to give you 4 of my predictions coming into this game, and honestly, this is not no bold predictions, this is nothing crazy. This is what I believe will actually happen in the game, at least from my perspective. And number 1, this is honestly a crapshoot type of prediction, but hey, we're going to make it because it's my channel and we're going to have fun with it. And I'm going to predict the first touchdown to start the Kansas City Chiefs season. I'm going to give it to Jody Fortson. And I like to give it to him just because I feel like it's not the sexy pick, but also it's a pick that a lot of people will be pleased by. And honestly, I think it's quite realistic too. Let's say if the Kansas City Chiefs start their first drive and they got to drive 80 yards downfield, and basically Mahomes just, dinks, dunks, moves the ball, gets first downs, does his thing. And then he gets into the red zone. If he's in the red zone and they are about to score a touchdown, I think that is a prime time candidate in Jody Fortson. I think for any tight end, honestly, for Travis Kelce, Jody Fortson, or even Noah Gray. I just wanted to go with the underrated type of guy and the guy a lot of Chiefs Kingdom has been rooting for. And I would love to see Jody Fortson start the Kansas City Chiefs year with the touchdown. Could you say it's bold? Yeah, but I mean, it's bold just to predict anyone's first touchdown. You could say Juju gets the first touchdown, and that's hard to predict because honestly, how I view it, I thought either Jody Fortson or Jerick McKinnon too. Because once it gets inside of that 20, I can see an easy shovel pass to McKinnon too. I don't know why. I feel McKinnon more than I feel like a CEH. And I don't feel like Pacheco will be on the field that early and often, but I don't know the game plan whatsoever. So I'm going to roll with Jody Fortson just because I feel like that's the fun pick to start this video off with. So we're going to pull back here a little bit because I know I just mentioned CEH and how I don't view him scoring the first touchdown of the season, just because in the red zone and goal line area, that's not where he is, like, I'm not going to be harsh, but really good at, and that's just based off prime experience of the past. Maybe things will change this season, but we're going to solely focus on him right now, and I believe CEH is going to start the season off with 75 plus rush yards in this game. And I know a lot of people don't think that's crazy, but I think that's a really hot start for CEH to start the season. And also, too, he's going to need to find a way to keep being a starting back in this league and for the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Arizona Cardinals have a bottom tier rushing defense. So if CEH can't exploit this defense or take advantage of it, or if Reed doesn't even trust him to give enough carries in this game, that's a huge question mark. So my focus is going to be on CEH, and I expect him not to have a big-time game, but maybe in his standards, 75 yards is a big-time game. But I expect this Kansas City Chiefs rush offense to get over 100 rushing yards in this game, and I expect CEH to be the lead back in this offense, and I expect him to have the good game to start the season. I don't know if you can bank on it, but I can cross my fingers and hope. Now we switching sides of the ball and we go into the defense, and I'm going to focus on the best defensive player out there on the D-line, and that is Chris Jones. I expect him to have 2 sacks. I was going to say 2+ sacks, but I think 2 sacks is good right here. I think what Spags is going to bring for this defense to start the game out and to start the season out is he's going to implement a lot of rushing schemes specifically to try to slow down Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray, he might be missing weapons on this offense and even on this offensive line too. Rodney Hudson has been day-to-day, so it's going to be a question mark coming into this game if he's going to be there to protect. And like I mentioned, the wide receiving core is banged up, the tight end core is banged up, so expect Kyler Murray to try to make plays with his leg or extend plays too. I think that's prime time Chris Jones, and I think he has not a lot to prove because he is an elite defensive tackle. But coming off of a postseason where he didn't live up to his standards, and then if you ask certain people in Chiefs Kingdom, didn't live up to the standards last year in 2021, basically with not as many sacks as what a lot of people would expect, I expect him to elevate his play. I expect him to have a chip on his shoulder, and I expect him to show out this game. I'm going to bank 2 sacks. I feel more confident with that than CEH getting 75 yards. But honestly, I think those are two very solid takes that can really happen to start the season off. And now my last take to wrap up this video. Yes, it is a short one. I wanted to give you guys a fun one with some predictions to get out there too. Also, let me know your predictions in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think is going to take place in this game. But we're going to close this off with who I believe will have the first explosive play for the Kansas City Chiefs and take control and be the wide receiver number 2. I think it's going to be MVS. I think both him and Juju will have 50-plus yards, and I think MVS will have the first big splash play of over 30-plus yards in this game to where it makes it Kansas City's offense just in rhythm and in sync and start clicking. The reason why I went with MVS, and honestly, it was a toss-up too, and it was a toss-up between two guys you wouldn't have thought. It was MVS and Justin Watson. For some reason, I feel like Watson's going to have a handful of snaps, maybe even 10 snaps in this game, and one of them could be very impactful, and he can make that first big splash play because there's been that trust there with Mahomes throughout the offseason and even before that when they were practicing in Texas. But the same can be said for MVS, and it's been one of Mahomes' favorite targets in offseason and in training camp too, and we've seen him make some solid catches in preseason. I expect that to translate in the regular season, and I expect it to translate quickly too. Like I mentioned, this Arizona Cardinals defense is also banged up to an extent where I didn't even expect as well. Byron Murphy is their number 1 cornerback. He was also listed on the injury report with the illness. I do anticipate him to play because it is an illness. I do not know the severity of it, so I'm not trying to downplay it. And I don't want to say anyone can play through being sick, but when it's a football game and this is what these guys get paid for, I expect Murphy to be out there. But after that, it's slim picking. So I could expect anyone in this wide receiver core to go nuts. I'm going to pick MVS just because I feel like that relationship and that bond has been there. And also, too, he's basically the vet in this offense. Now, it's his first year with the Kansas City Chiefs, but he has experience playing with one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and Aaron Rodgers, too. I think that will translate to playing with Mahomes. And I think we will see that relationship and that connection bond very soon in this regular season, and I expect this in week 1. Now, we're going to go into the main prediction time on how I view this game is going to go. Like I mentioned earlier in the week, it makes no sense for me to pick this game. This is a Chiefs channel. So if you really expect for me to pick the Cardinals, you're kind of insane. Of course I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. But I'm going to give you my confidence meter out of this, and out of 10, I'm probably at an 8. I really feel the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win this game. I think on all 3 phases, Kansas City is better. And then if you want to go to coaching, of course, Kansas City has got that. There are a few areas of concern that basically will have me questioning it. And it's if Kyler Murray can exploit this defense and extend plays. And I do believe the only way he's going to do that is he's going to try to connect with his old college buddy in Marquise Hollywood Brown. And if Kansas City gets beat a couple of times deep and makes this be a back-and-forth game, Kansas City has proven they can win shootouts, but it's not a game I kind of want to see either. I want to see Kansas City kind of control this game and be in control throughout the game and basically own the Cardinals. Now, will that happen? I don't know, but my confidence meter, 8 out of 10, should really display how I feel. And I think if Kansas City basically stops the explosive plays and stops Murray from extending plays, this is going to be Kansas City's game all day and end the week off at 1-0. But Chiefs Kingdom, like I mentioned, I want to hear your prediction down below. You guys can give me your final score output because, hey, I know that's what it's about. I'm not going to give you one. I'm just going to let you know. I feel confident Kansas City is going to win this. But before I close this out, you already know what to do. Please hit that subscribe button as I'm going to keep you up to date on the latest Kansas City Chiefs news and rumors. And with that, also, big thumbs up. Please click that. It really helps me out a lot. And thank you guys for checking in. And, of course, I'm going to give you my instant reaction right after the game, whether we win, hopefully not lose, but I will be here to check in with y'all. So y'all take care.